I'll just show that right here.
Yours is live. I cannot for the life of me figure out how to live stream the other one. And I think nobody can see. I think you guys are backstage. I think that's why it says backstage. I'm trying to figure it out, but it seems like there's people in the webinar that are not seeing or hearing anything. Talking to themselves.
Yeah. We're with you.
Are you guys guys? Sorry.
I realize like, it's actually pretty central, but it's gonna be.
Well, you are alternatives?
I just-
Uptown, we all know Scheinfeld, the independent between west of the Harlem River here. That's what you shout, because I've been so frustrated.
Okay.
I haven't, I showed us some meeting to get this up. See, like, when we get out of the way. Well, you should join.
I don't thought this is like.
Actually. Guys, will you give me my contact? I'm gonna try Sean, I got two people with me, Ella. You only, like, uptown, and I can find a PA right now.
A lot of money though. Yeah, but they're good. Yeah, it's just so impressive.
It's my glass for that one.
The other thing that's amazing is.
No, you just. All right, guys, so we have 30 minutes. Wanted some more time, but it's been a bit crazy,
So
so.
much more my fun than there used to be. Just because Sean called yesterday was that
Excuse me.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we have to start. We have a bit of a time crunch right now.
Yeah, we're ready.
So welcome, for you guys that are joining us. This portion, we're gonna discuss our capital and expenses. Every year, the board comes up with a list of priorities. We voted as a committee based on what we think our committee should push forward. It goes to the board and the board ranks them and sends it to our local government and, local elected officials, and then they allocate budget as they can, to some of these priorities. So we have some priorities from the past year, fiscal year 2025. I sent you guys, everybody received my email regarding previous capital and expense budget sheets, no? Alright, so I have to make sure I forward it. I want to go over each one, so we have to rank them in committee. But there's some ones, and I believe Debbie did this last year, where either they have been worked on or it's in the process of getting worked on, money has been allocated to it. I mean, I just don't want to kind of keep submitting the same redundancy to the board. Because then when they're prioritized, it just kind of keeps dropping. And at the end of the day, we're a committee of action. We want to make sure that anything we push out of the committee actually gets some focus, all right? So we'll start with the capital sheet. Traffic transportation is on the second page. And this is what we ranked last year. This is what we decided as committee should have some focus based on infrastructure,
Making the following, subway station story.
Yeah, so-
We definitely should keep that.
Yeah, so
Number one.
the MTA ones, I think we should keep. I know they were working on it prior to when they were gonna go through with the congestion pricing. A lot of that was gonna be tackled with the money coming from congestion pricing. When they put it on pause, this was put on pause as well. I'm hearing through the she said herself, the government hocal will after elections roll it back out, congestion pricing. So all the MTA ones, unless there's a new add to it, I think we should keep.
I just don't want to make a technical comment. These rankings, the numbers on the side, they're the way the board ranked them, okay?
Thank you, Jim.
So the individual items are not necessarily in the order that we rank.
Mhm,
See my point?
yes.
So that means, Jim, this
But
one
on
is ranking
this-
number 56.
For the
For
board,
the
For the
board,
board.
but we may not have ranked it number one.
we ranked that one as a committee.
Here, though.
Oh, it
I
is.
rank
Okay.
it.
Yeah, we
Probably.
ranking number one.
Very good. So we have the committee list.
Okay,
Never mind.
okay, because I was.
No, but that's a
confused.
good point, though, just
Yeah.
so that we know where it was ranked relative to the
Right.
board.
So I'm gonna, yeah, so I'm gonna make a correction.
Here.
Those-
These are just the numbers, just the list. Like this
Yeah.
is the item number, the rank is actually on the right hand side.
Yeah, so on the right hand side, you'll see what the
Right.
committee ranked it and what the board in general ranked.
Gotcha,
Right.
And
okay.
can I just ask you a quick question? Also, it looks like all the agencies, government agencies responded to these things.
The most of them, yes.
And there are some, in some cases where it specifically says, we want you to follow up
Mhm.
with the agency. Is
Yeah,
that
so
been done?
the Board of has followed up. I received a few which we'll discuss. None of them are here though. For the ones that followed up, there's other resolutions we put out.
Okay,
So
okay.
these are still working pending. So
Okay.
it's not bad. Okay, so moving forward, we have our list. Again, I think that any ADA upgrades, any upgrades in general to our MTA infrastructure should be priority. As you guys see, when it rains heavily on 157th Street, the one train station is constantly inundated. Clearly, we have issues with the truck. Yeah, Mary,
Can you slow down?
Yeah,
As I can.
I got you.
Sorry.
So, yeah, so for our MTA infrastructure, I think it should be a priority for our committee. Again, I'm open to any suggestions, or if you guys want to make some edits, this is the time to do it.
Can I suggest that we just go through them one by one, or we
Yeah.
could just all quickly just say
That's
whether or
perfect.
not?
What did you say, Carmen?
I'm suggesting that we can all just go through them one by one, and then we could just all agree whether or not we're gonna keep them, just to like speed up the process. Yeah.
You don't have an extra copy of that paper lying around, do you?
I believe there's some,
There's some right outside, this is the
Yeah.
extra one right here.
no, this is the next one.
If you go outside to the
Table?
to the other room where we were at, they're just standing outside.
Yeah, there should be outside.
There's no more, they're
Other
gone.
room.
All right, so we'll start with the first one. Make the following subway stations fully ADA compliant. Stops at 157, 181st, 191st, 207th Street, Uptown, and 215th Street. And stops at 155th, 163rd, 168th, 191st, Dykeman, and 207th
That's
Street.
perfect.
That includes elevator upgrades, includes any electrical issues they may have, includes
It doesn't.
the substation.
But not the leaks, right, that's somewhere else.
The leak should be somewhere else, you're correct. I believe it's on the spot, further down the list. Yeah.
207th is,
accessible.
It's number.
It's got elevators.
They just finished.
Place?
They just
They're relatively
recently,
new.
yeah, recently, Dykeman as well.
Yeah, that was
Place?
okay.
Dykeman is
Both
right
ways.
in 181st.
What do you mean?
Accessible?
Oh, yeah, the air line,
There's only
they
one
got some
platform.
improvements.
It's not like on 181st, you have two
Oh,
platforms.
she's gonna
One
make-
platform, the elevator.
I
goes
believe
up.
they doing,
Next to me, there's another elevator that goes to.
one train too,
Yeah.
207.
207?
So then, if 207 is already accessible, then we need to.
And the A train outside.
On the A train, on the IND.
Yeah.
And 168 is, but not on the one side. Is that why we have it on there?
Right.
But
Yeah.
they're still, they can access both sides from.
Yeah, they got
168
a train and one train.
So I would say it's accessible.
Yeah.
Now, one train is not
Accessible. 'Cause once you go
The
down-
one train.
Right.
Oh, once you get to the actual platform.
Yeah.
But there are plans in the vague future when the money comes back that they plan to do that. They
Yeah.
actually figured out how to.
But I thought they're supposed
So
to
we
do
were
it when
moving
they
to
started.
7?
So
When
let's
they
move
started
to the
elevator.
second, the A train.
Exactly. You heard? I thought when they start the elevator, 168 on Broadway, that is gonna be ADA compliant with the elevator all the way to the street.
They said they were supposed to, I don't wanna take
Not
the
for
word
one.
fully
Huh?
concrete, on the one, no,
On the one, yeah.
they said that they
That's what
would come
said.
back, yeah.
The first time they came when we was in the
Yeah,
chair,
yeah,
they came and said that the elevator is gonna go all the way to the street.
yeah, they said that when they were working on the 181st, the next one was
Right,
supposed to be the one.
But the problem is that from the elevator down to the platform, for the one,
When are they gonna work on it? They have a plan.
stairs, you know?
Without the income from the congestion that you told me,
Right. Nothing
all of
happens
these
until the
things.
month.
Out of
are on the
pause.
back
Yeah,
burner.
they'll
It's
stop it.
Just like immediate needs. That's why I think that actually we need the MTA to report on what in CB 12 they are not going to be able to do until the tolling comes on.
Yeah,
board.
so I've asked, and their conversations are also on pause, so they don't have any of
But,
this.
but listen,
Which is,
very important, the elevator in 168 is supposed to be all the way to the street, very important. Because you know what, there's a lot of people who use wheelchair,
Yeah.
some people come out from the hospital.
I use this
Absolutely.
and I can't get out. I can't
Yeah, you-
use
I
the
understand,
train.
no, I know.
can't get the train.
That's what I'm saying,
Stairs
you cannot go across the street to get the elevator instead of, you leave this side. Instead of go to the other side, you take the elevator on this side, one in Broadway, westbound.
Gotcha.
I'm not understanding what you're saying. Can you?
Okay.
repeat that, please?
The elevator that we have in here
On
in
168.
Broadway, I mean, St. Nicholas there, and St. Nicholas
Right,
Avenue,
St. Nicholas.
is go all the way to the platform.
Right.
Another platform you need to pay.
Oh.
But then on the other side, they don't have elevator
Right.
Yeah,
because they only have stairs
on the one train you're saying.
and the one
right, yeah.
train. So we want the one train to be ADA compliant too.
Yeah.
Correct.
Because a lot of people come out from the hospital, they have a lot of wheelchair and
The community,
the community.
come on,
It's
the
needed.
hospital community.
Yeah, we need it.
If I could comment, they actually came to us because what they're gonna do is they're gonna, like you said, you can get down to one of the platforms with the main elevator,
Yeah,
but you can't get the other one. So they're gonna make a set of elevators that you go up, across and down to get to the other side. And they have a plan for that, because if you look at the northern end of the station, there's already some kind of thing.
yeah,
there.
yeah.
They're gonna use that or something like that.
That's fine, but it's not done yet, so we need to keep it on.
You remember you remember when they came here.
So we already
when-
knew
Yeah,
this,
See,
right?
oh, but I
So-
still remember.
yeah.
Guys,
No, I remember.
sorry to interrupt, we
I'm
have
sorry.
to move on.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I apologize.
So we are gonna keep our number one priority
So
as
we
we
want to
voted
take
last
two
year.
oh seven off the,
We'll
We
remove
remove-
207 from the A trains, I guess.
from the IND, right?
Yeah, since
So eliminate.
they
that.
have done some upgrades. You could remove- you can remove 181st from the A train. There's still going towards, it, but it should be done soon.
181 too.
And Dykeman has added elevators on both sides, so we could remove the Dykeman one train station
Yeah,
as well.
Dykeman one train, right.
I don't think we even have that.
What about 181? 181 was already done. They have the elevator, A train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, A train,
That's
yes.
what we crossed it off.
Okay, so we're removing we're removing 207 A train, removing 181 A train,
181.
Dykeman.
No, Dykeman A train, no, Dykeman A train doesn't have access.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you.
181 is not on here, on the A train,
Correct.
so it's already been removed.
Yeah, it's been removed because last time we did it, that's when they first started implementing the work, so that's not on this. Okay, so we're good on that.
Okay.
We'll keep moving down. So analyze upper roadway between West 50, and this is Riverside Drive, I'm sorry. Upper roadway between West 58th and West 165th Street, and implement any recommended changes to improve safety and flow of traffic. We're currently working on that. Jody can give a bit of an update.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I think I would change this whole thing because now the focus has broadened, right? We're working on the entire 158th Street intersection,
All right.
158th Street plus the two roads.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
So
maybe the wording to be more specific versus a broader, what we have.
What would you suggest for the wording? If you
almost,
have any
do
suggestions?
I have the resolution that we wrote? Because that's almost that.
It's almost done.
Well, they told, right, Ed Pinker and a company told us that they would release a study or come back and, have some type of study or survey in that area for the roadway.
Yeah, I mean, what they're basically, the way it's been left is Sean and DOT are working together. Sean's gonna fund some of the project.
Okay.
And that DOT is looking at the previous proposal
Okay.
and hoping to make modifications to
Okay.
that intersection to improve traffic flow and pedestrian
And
safety.
safety, okay.
And
So-
we can,
Do you think we should, since it's a work in progress and it has some, I'm sorry, 1 second. Do you think we should keep it on here?
absolutely, because it is probably, because it's been broadened
Mhm.
and it has not been done.
Mhm.
We want to keep it, in my opinion,
Oh, yeah.
keep it there in order to ensure that we keep pushing this forward.
Okay, we need to change the wording to make it more specific.
Let me give you technical comment, better than the numbers, I hope. There's an actual document that specifies what we want in addition to what we write there. So the office has to change that other thing. See the ones that actually have numbers?
Yeah, it's like-
Those are ones that, there's a whole document. So there may be some, document associated. So if we change the wording here, we have to change the wording.
Little document, okay.
You can double check on that.
And just to also, it mentions the 165th Street, which is very different from the 158th
Yeah.
Street. So I think we actually have to separate those two out, in my opinion.
Well, to
Is that-
separate them, then there'll be one more thing and that will lower the chances. We can just say, do the whole thing.
Okay, so maybe what we do is we just have to figure out the wording to say that analyze, maybe it's just not, I don't know, it's analyze the intersections of 158 and 165, right?
Mhm.
And recommend improved safety and traffic flow.
Maybe we should have the
You know,
word
it's
survey
actually
and stuff.
written, Bruce and you wrote this perfectly. I just have to get the wording.
Well, we'll do is we'll
Oh, the
Reference-
the
the resolution.
resolution.
We'll reference a resolution and kind of take the wording to
Yeah.
fit that, and we'll update it with the office so that we can get that serial number to,
Right.
yes.
Hi, so Riverside Drive in the neighborhoods it goes through, the number of people.
I'm sorry, can you just, what's your
Hi,
name?
my name's Allegra LeGrand,
Hi, Robert.
and I'm here as an individual. I have a day job, I'm a climate scientist, and I love New York City open data, so I've looked at it all. So the number of people in this neighborhood that actually drive to get to where they're going, it's somewhere to get to work, something like 15%. Everyone else, they walk, they bike, they take mass transit. And the stakes when you are someone on a bicycle are really, really high because you weigh maybe 200 pounds, 300 pounds, you and your bike. And there are vehicles that weigh 5,000 pounds who are speeding down Riverside Drive because it doesn't have enough stop signs and stoplights. So and there's no amount of policing that's gonna change that, so it needs to come from a traffic design standpoint. Have you ever considered that maybe Riverside Drive, especially the part along the park, which is just someplace that people stow their cars, could be a two-way bike path, which would relieve, like, I know pedestrians also hate getting strafed by cyclists. But if you had a safe bike path there that was quick because it doesn't have that many cross intersections along Riverside Drive, the cyclists would all take it and they would be out of everyone's hair and they would be safer. And it would probably also decrease the number of incidences of traffic violence that we have in our community. So when you talk about improving traffic flow, I think that the community board should prioritize the people in this neighborhood who do not travel by car. Most of that traffic flow is people who are, they got tired waiting in traffic on the Henry Hudson Parkway and they're looking for a safe, fast bypass. They're not people in our community. They're people who are, they don't care about the safety of our community as they speed through. Thank you.
Thank you, Elaine. We're gonna have constant talks about bike safety, pedestrian safety, unfortunately, this meeting, we have to speak about the expense, capital expenses, we can consider. But I know the city has made an initiative to place as many bike or install as many bike, lanes as possible. I know Lyle said he would come to us towards the end of the year with, what's gonna be happening next year in our district. So November meeting, we'll bring that up tonight and we'll have more of a conversation around that. So that you can actually come and he can hear with his ears and give some input. We can actually have a productive conversation about it. So I agree. But I do think we should keep this traffic study for this. I know we've been pushing Jody, Bruce, Jim. We've been pushing, as
Well,
much
I-
as possible.
Yeah, no, I think that we should keep that, but I love your comment.
Mhm.
And I think it's something that we need to take into consideration is when we look at analyzing our streets
When we actually.
and making them safe and improving traffic flow, is that the bikes are a big problem in every way. And Riverside is, they just one of
That's a
them.
huge issue at the moment. Yes.
Can you just add to, or like, I don't know if that's included, but like non-car centric traffic flow, because I feel like traffic flow, it's like, it's almost hard.
Yeah, I would suggest that myself, that maybe we can include bicycles
Yeah,
in that,
Yeah, we can include vehicular, pedestrian, and
so I'm worried
Bike-
traffic
bike
study is just
safety.
gonna like focus on like, how do we like make it better for like drivers? So like, it cannot be better for drivers. It should, when it's better for drivers, worse for like kids, worse for like everybody who's like trying to use.
To be honest with you, I'm a biker and I don't go 150 that way. I don't go that way. People, they drive crazy.
But it doesn't have to be like.
And I know, but that's why I don't use that other way.
this item was put in, it was put in the air for this, to say for pedestrians, not for the cars.
Okay.
So, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
it's protecting the pedestrians in this crazy intersection there.
So are we gonna try to just clarify, that one to just include
Bike lane.
non-car centric traffic flow, or
That would
just
be nice.
regular pedestrian?
I would add everything, kind of revolving around them, because DOT needs to be, we need to be very specific with DOT. We focus on one thing, not the other completely ignore the other. So we want to make sure it covers all bases.
The other thing is that
Even
the
if-
bike lane, it has to go through all of the sides, not if you use over District 12.
Yeah.
The worst.
Yeah. Can you specify like protected bike lane just so you can do it there? Because
We can add protected.
a lot of times they just throw a bike lane and it's like a bike lane where you're planning rushing.
Yeah.
like, the car doors open.
They do so many other things in different districts. They do protected, they do raised bike lanes.
Yeah,
So on the Grand Concourse, most of it is raised
yeah.
bike lanes, so.
Yeah.
It's gotta be without striking range of cars.
Mhm.
Grand Concourse is beautiful, but your cars
I'm
in the
just
park.
writing
They get double park on the bike lane, which.
Yeah,
Double parking.
Mhm.
Gotta keep on moving.
Yeah, let's go.
we got ten
alright.
minutes.
So we're gonna keep that, again, changing the wording. This is all gonna be updated and then we're gonna send it right back out and we have to vote for it before,
Ideally, we should do it.
today.
Today.
Okay, so we'll go and we might have to break up, cause I think it's 45, so Domingo will get us. All right, so our third priority, catch basin at 158th Street and Riverside Drive to allow for a raised crosswalk on the north side of West 158th Street.
Good. Yeah.
So we're keeping that one.
Yeah,
Rehabilitate the 181st Street, I believe that's the one line. Subway station,
yeah, they're doing it right now.
There's no language change to number 58. The
Uh,
catch basin?
no, you can leave it like that.
Number 59, 181st Street relates to the IND, which is the A.
Yeah.
A train, yeah,
A-train.
yeah, so we can remove that.
What do we put there?
So,
Talk about accessibility.
yeah, number 59, rehabilitate the 181st
81 should remove completely.
Hey, like, so we can remove it. They're working, well, it should be finished soon.
Oh, no, it's totally accessible now. The elevators will go down. to
The escalators
platform.
work?
Everything's working.
For now.
It works, for now.
Okay, let's continue.
For now.
Number 60,
So rehabilitate the 168th Street A-line subway station.
160.
I'm
You still
sorry.
can't
You
hear.
can hear.
Because I can't hear when more than one person's talking. I can't understand anything.
Sorry.
It's, you know, my apologies, but it's not.
Don't apologize.
No, man, we'll
Try to
Keep
do
saying
that.
this at every meeting.
we'll do better. We'll do better. So we're striking 59 because they have already worked on it. Still work in progress. They're almost done. But the elevators work.
You're struggling with your.
It should be done by the Q4, end of
Your
Q4.
hearing also.
So number 60, rehabilitate the 168th Street A-line stations. I think we should keep that. And that is reference what we spoke about upstairs.
Mhm.
So that's still there?
Yeah,
Yeah, so the rehabilitation includes any, it's not only ADA, it's any electrical issues they may have, update the station
What are we
itself.
talking about?
Number,
Number 60,
rehabilitate the 168. Right.
IND
underneath
line
the-
subway station, that's the H-train station. on
One
160.
person, please.
Sorry.
Rehab is, right,
So we'll keep that one.
but do we want to be more specific on the request besides the word rehab? Rehab can mean a number of folks.
So
We've had this on the.
For a couple years now, yeah.
for Forever.
for a couple of years now. So we can update the wording. When it comes to construction rehabilitation, it's for upgrade. So I don't think we should change that word. It's just a construction term. The one, number 56, if you look at 56, you might say, well, we have that up there. Why are we repeating it? The number 56 highlights ADA specific.
Right,
Number 60 speaks of the whole rehabilitation of the station.
right.
So that includes electrical, if there is any issue with feeding, anything, announcements, any issue, that's what it entails. So I say we keep it to cover our bases. Since we already have upgrade accessibility on 56, 60 is just the general.
Right,
Stage.
same with, yeah. Same with 59 and
So we're
61.
not rewording. So we're not rewording
No,
60.
no. Rehabilitation, it's a construction terms, it means just upgrade. General. All right, number
But again, we
61.
don't want to be more specific when we say rehab to me can mean one thing and rehab to you can.
I mean, we
mean
can be more
What
specific,
we want done.
since this is a construct, it's a
They might
construct,
be more willing to do something if we.
what
are
would
more
you,
specific.
what would you be specific with?
Well, does it mean fix the floors? Does it mean, have the gates more, ADA compliant, whatever? I mean, I'm just throwing out, thoughts. I mean, what are your thoughts?
So when it comes, like I said, when it comes to construction, rehab, for us, it means, for the general public, it means something. Rehabilitation, all of that falls under. So rehabilitation is the bigger project.
Talking to best.
So
Sorry.
rehabilitation, so overall project, that includes upgrading, you said, the gates, electrical, it's general, it's broad. That's what in construction terms is.
So
I
we
don't
want to
think,
say upgrade instead of rehab?
upgrade, no. 'Cause upgrade, they're just gonna do certain things to make it seem better. Rehab, it's a whole works.
He's saying rehab is a technical term.
Yeah, it's a construction term.
Understand, so don't pull it.
Yeah, if we pull it, when they say upgrade, they're gonna focus on specifics. Rehab, we want everything
done.
that doesn't work to be upgraded.
But that's what the agencies do. When they give us the answers,
Mhm.
they say that we're not specific enough, so.
I think with that terms,
Just a thought.
it covers what we're looking for. If we start nitpicking, then we can't put everything on one line. So we have to start breaking things down.
Right.
And I think then they'll just focus on certain things. Same thing when we vote, right? Like we're gonna prioritize whatever those upgrades are. And I think it takes away from the overall project. So and it's up to you guys. We're a committee, we decide together, but I think we should leave the word rehabilitate.
What's IND stand for?
I'm not sure if I know
It's
that.
the independent subway line, the subways were private companies, before they were all run by the government. That was the name of that company, the IND, the A train, the E train, they were all the IND lines. And one is the IRT, the Interborough Rapid Transit.
Yeah.
They're all part of the Canada problem.
Thank you.
There's some old people,
Okay, so are we moving on to 61?
Yes. So 61, rehabilitate the 207th Street, I'm just gonna say RT on the one train station.
Didn't we say earlier that 207 was done? What else is there?
The A train,
Oh, the
The
eight,
eight.
the ones,
that's the
The
one.
IRT is the one, the IND is the other.
thank you.
Okay.
There's no elevators. I believe there is an elevator. on it.
Maybe we should just say A and.
Right.
62.
Fund new lighting in parks along Greenway. So again, we had the conversation last year. this was proposed to us, I believe, right, Jim, by Parks? To include this, fund new lighting in parks along the Greenway.
That should be a priority.
That is,
Right,
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
otherwise it's dangerous, and
Yeah.
at the moment, a whole section of it is closed.
Yeah, the whole park,
The whole- Yeah,
Greenway needs to be resurfaced.
yes.
Because there are huge potholes and in the Harlem River Drive side, it's all ruddy, it's.
You can even drive, you can even walk, my God.
Now, I
guys-
drive along the West Side Highway, and there's a massive fence that's going basically from 125 to 79th Street.
Mhm.
So, and they're
There's no
catching
light.
all the trees. Oh, it seems like there's a massive construction project.
One of my friends got robbed in there.
Sure, well,
Yeah. He's lucky, his life.
Yeah, so that project's happening. Coming back.
It's like the
I wonder if
circulation.
Parks
My
is
daughter-
including that.
What's their
Second?
Yeah,
I wonder if Parks is including
Driving
that.
along
in
the
their-
highway, she said, couldn't they
The
put more
problem
lights
is
here?
that the Greenway and like the Greenway, it is DOT.
It's DOT,
When,
yes.
when that comes to lighting, and so there's so many areas of the Greenway that are poorly lit or have no lighting at all. That I think, if I remember correctly, we were talking also about that area from 162 to the dog park.
Yeah, it's-
That was, completely pitch dark with not a single light, and so that's, I think, where this thing started. It's just, we want the Greenways well lit.
okay. So we'll keep that there. Yes.
If you say well lit, as you noted, there are sections that are closed down in the maintenance.
Mhm.
The Harlem River Drive Greenway it has its own sinkholes and is also in danger of falling in the same way that Hudson River Greenway did fall in. So lighting is great, but if there's not a surface, there is no greenway. So maybe it should
Yeah, that's
be
true.
like delineate that you include the surfaces
Mhm.
as well as the lighting. Also, Chris Heitman told me that, I had no idea that the Henry Hudson Parkway between the Washington Bridge and the Henry Hudson Bridge, actually MTA has some sort of agreement where they're the ones in charge of maintenance. So I don't know who is in charge there, but it might take the community board making some formal requests to sort out who actually is in charge there. Because it might be MTA that you need to talk to.
Thank you.
Good point. Should we
So we
include,
wanna add another
that's what I'm saying,
item?
should we add and maybe ask for reconstruction?
You should, we
Of
should.
of the Greenway, instead of just
Both
upgrades to the lights?
Both of them.
Both, yeah, both Greenway.
But
Oh,
do
good item for the-
you know, I mean, does that then fall into parks or is that DOT?
That's well, I can speak with Parks and maybe have it when they add it as well, but we should add it. And then
Yeah.
if anything, the board will then come to us and say, hey, no, we're gonna.
You can speak with Steve,
Yeah.
Steve on the board, so we can talk to him.
But I also spoke to someone in Parks and Northern Manhattan administrator, and she indicated the section you're talking about was closed. That's now in the hands of state DOT and city DOT. And I don't know if you got that annotated picture, I think, but, there are major problems right outside my window. So, and they've actually had to dig a shaft from something very deep or something, there are things going on,
But still close.
but first they have to figure out what they want to
what
do.
section is this?
On 181st.
North of 181st on the west side Greenway.
Got it.
That's entirely closed all the way back to the street. So they've got to figure out what they want to do, then they have to get a contract, then they have to do it, and,
And while it's closed, everybody's biking on the streets, which have no safe bike lane, which means that people who used to be able to bike, kids, people who have disabilities that make them slower, less aware of what's going on around them, now do not have access to greenways. So as the transportation committee, you can make an ask of DOT. They provide a safe bypass while maintenance work is being done. And the maintenance is important and it will happen again, but DOT can make everything safe.
that's a good point, but I think it's not a budget priority. Certainly,
That's something we have to request directly.
Making bike lanes is a budget,
making,
redundancy.
actually, most bike lanes are not even capital projects.
Yeah, they're not.
Sharrows are not bike lanes.
I'm talking about feeder bike lanes. They're not capital either.
I think we should add another line and just request for the reconstruction. Like that's. And be
You want to
happy
say
ask.
reconstruction or repave?
Reconstruction.
I think reconstruction, again, tackle
I have
anything
no
versus,
problem
all right,
with-
just fix this pothole or just put a light
You know,
here.
reconstruction, the whole thing.
Reconstruction usually entails
Yeah,
the works.
Well, if the Harlem side is the way we heard described, then it needs reconstruction.
Yes.
And certainly part of what they're gonna do with whatever the hell they're doing outside my window, that will be reconstruction also. So yeah, let's do reconstruction.
So do we wanna add an extra point or do we wanna just on number 62? Rephrase everything and just put reconstruction?
I think we should add a new point because this was already ranked really lowly.
That is right.
Yeah.
So I would just say make a new one to bring it to people's attention and make
Yeah.
it separate.
Okay.
That's my
one more
suggestion.
point, bullet point.
For two different things.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that
So
might
we're
be
gonna
one or
add,
the other.
Number 63.
we're gonna add a
We'll put it at
64 at the end.
And I'm waiting for the minute to just come in and grab us
We're adding
We still have
64 and this is for the reconstruction
of the green one.
Of the
Um,
Harlem.
Of the Harlem,
And
and Hudson.
The community board, in community district 12.
Perfect.
That would be awesome.
And that presumably this reconstruction will also address the lighting on the pole,
Yes.
so that would be good.
Can I just ask you one thing?
Yes.
And I'm sorry, I have to go back. When we look at the, catch basin for 58, and we're also looking at 57, they're all,
It all goes there. I agree
yeah.
with you, Joe.
And in some cases, we're not even considering the raised sidewalk anymore. We're thinking of doing something else entirely. Do you want to just leave it anyway, just because it allows them to think about the totality of this problem? I mean, it will probably need a catch basin no matter what we
Yes,
do
because usually
because of
include it in the
drainage
capital
and all that we don't have now. But I don't know that they're considering a raised sidewalk at this point. I think they're considering alternatives. So I'm thinking that the raised sidewalk may be worth deleting that because we're gonna rephrase 57 to include anything.
So should we just grab 58 and include on 57 and
Combine it.
make it more detailed?
That's what I'm
So
thinking.
include the catch space, a raised sidewalk, and then anything
And
else.
what, yeah, like.
Signage.
reword, take the resolution that you guys wrote so beautifully about this whole area.
And just
And then
summarize
add,
it.
and then add that we want the catch basin and all of that in there too, for drainage purposes.
Okay. You can do that. I agree with that.
Combine 57 and 58.
Mhm.
And reword it.
And again, we then have the double check with the office. We have to double check with the office with the details.
Yeah.
No, it's,
Number 63, sustainability upgrades to 157th Street, one train station to reduce vulnerability to extreme weather events. Which was referenced at the beginning, and I think that we should keep that.
Leave that.
Yeah.
Only because
That's
it's
right.
ranked so high by the board, should we push it up? You know, like,
So
we
that,
wanna say that, like, we're saying that like that's our least priority, but that seems to be.
you know what it
their
is,
second
Fred?
priority.
When we vote in a committee, that's fortunately our least priority of what we're naming. So that falls on the bottom. Again, we have to vote for this again this year. So that might move up, it might not. And that's again, based on what we have on this list, where we rank it as a committee.
Right, but I'm just saying, should we rank it higher, which might expedite it actually happening?
Yeah, it's up to you guys to
I
vote
don't know, I'm
individually.
just throwing that, I know nothing.
No, yeah, no, I understand. And that's really up to each member of the board individually based on what they think is their priority.
And is
The community.
157 the only station where we have this
Oh,
problem?
it is a mess.
It's,
It's
in our district, yes. In our district, yes.
No other
the only
station
one.
is like that.
Yeah, in our
That's the
district,
only
yes.
That's the only one.
Yeah.
So,
So you're suggesting we as a committee move it up, and I have heard you, and maybe others have heard you too, and maybe we will move it up,
yeah,
but we vote on it.
we will be able to vote on it. I'm gonna
We're
include
gonna
an
vote
extra,
on whether we move it up or not.
number 63, Larry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add an extra point, and this is just conversation I've had with DOT. I think 207th Street is a mess, from under one, train station to the bridge. It's disastrous. I almost saw someone get hit the other day, the construction going on. So I think we should make it a priority and add something where they have to do a traffic study. Something has to come up, go ahead.
So DOT did secure this raise grant to do like bike lanes under 10th Avenue, connecting up to the Broadway Bridge, and they kind of draw in a connector. They've been saying that this is 1.7 miles, but it's only, from the Harlem River Drive to the Broadway Bridge is only like 1. That extra half mile, it's not really obvious to me where that is, but the DOT's definitely, they've done that as part of their Greenway expansion, a big raise grant study, and if they haven't come here to talk to the Community Board 12 about it, like, you guys should tell them to get here and explain it like now, because they are pitching this all over town like the best thing since toast.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it.
But I agree with you,
You have my email, if you can send me the name of
27th
it.
Street is a.
It's a mess, it's a mess, it's a
Which
mess.
there only has sidewalk on one side of the street, so people are forced over.
Mhm.
And there's about to be 3,000 housing units that are gonna open up right there on that corner.
Right in the corner, yep.
And it is going to be,
It's a mess, it's a mess right now, I can imagine once people start
Yeah.
living. So I think we should add a point, I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna ask, can you repeat what you said, what was the grant that they secured?
it's a federal raise grant, RAISE. Don't ask me what the acronym stands for. But about 2 weeks ago, like when they had the Greenways conference, in, downtown, like there was something that was secured and Schumer was going around on his media blitz talking about like, got more money for this, and it's all kind of wrapped up into this thing, like everyone's taking credit for getting money. There is supposedly money that's going to flow, and that is what they will do in this community, but I'm a little bit, like, I know I haven't been here lately because I've been doing other things, but I'm a little bit shocked that that DOT has not come to the community board itself to
Yeah.
present to you guys, like, that's messed up, so
I know
you
that.
should make a request now.
Allegra, you have my email. Can you please forward me that information, and I'm gonna loop you in, loop the committee in, and we're gonna have a conversation. They have not even reached out,
Messed up.
and
I'm
I
so sorry.
doubt they reached out to the board either. They usually forward me stuff.
Is this the last meeting of like capital for the year? Because I wanted to make a proposal, of stuff to make, just like daylighting. I just want
Oh.
daylighting across the entire,
Yes.
Washington Heights. Just because, do you guys know what daylighting
I'm
is?
sorry, what's your name?
Gabriel.
I did, nice to meet you. I'm new on this committee, so I'm not sure if you from here on gonna be informed.
No, this is my first time. I told them a couple months ago, but like, I'm just like, basically, daylighting is when you take away a car parking spot and like actually put like a physical thing away at every corner. Because then this way it makes it safer when like bikes or even just pedestrians, when you're trying to see if someone's coming, because people blow red lights. Like you can say, oh, well, you know, there's a red light. The traffic signals mean nothing to drivers. People blow through and kids will get run over. Daylighting saves so many lives. It's not even funny. Like,
Daylighting?
Daylight,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
daylight. You take away every parking spot on the corners, and there is some daylighting around here, but like, people just parking, like people, if it's not blocked up, people parking. You have to assume the worst of every driver.
Yeah, it's
No
not-
offense to drivers, but you have to assume the worst, so you have to put up like posts and stuff. But this has to be done in like, at least without barriers or plastic stuff, every corner. But I know this is a big thing.
Yeah, so we can't unfortunately add it to the capital. I can, and we're gonna get a lot of push. There's a lot of people that drive. We have, just like we have avid bike riders, we have people who complain constantly to me about DOT coming or whatever infrastructure project they're having, we're taking away parking.
Yeah.
So that's, I highly doubt that's gonna fly,
Yeah.
but if you can give me specific locations with numbers, data showing, hey, it's really bad here, like red lights are always being run, there's accidents happening here, then I can go to DOT and say, hey, listen, we've done our own community study and these spots are really bad and we would recommend putting that here, then it's something to work with. If we ask for it on every block, even I'm concerned, I wouldn't.
No, but what about just like Broadway or something like that, like high speed stuff?
The
Always is-
CB9 has already, traffic committee has already passed a reso for university daylighting in their district, and I know CB11, they got it on their agenda item to do that, and CB11 as well.
Mhm.
And so we don't want CB12 to be the last community board in Manhattan to the party to get people safe
They
in
have
their
all
neighborhood.
I think, what, they don't have the George Johnson
Right,
Bridge.
they don't have George
I think
Washington
that's a
Bridge.
conversation we can
Yeah.
have in upcoming meetings. I can say I won't support it. Not on every block or all over
We
Broadway,
will put it on the.
but we can add it to the agenda and have a good discussion on it. I'm open to doing that. And I think,
And the last time the DOT person came, there are certain blocks that they were already considering. They just do it more on a reactive basis.
yeah, they,
Instead of a
and
proactive
they add it,
basis.
exactly.
It's a priority in intersections by schools right now.
We can do
Yes.
that, and that's a conversation we're gonna have at the joint meeting. It's something that's gonna come up, but I'm willing to add it to the agenda next month and we can have a lengthy conversation around and see what traction we can get. I'll reach out to CB9 and see how they went about it, what's the conversation going on over
Get, you
there.
know, they have resolutions in these two community boards, they can send them.
They
to
can
us,
send it to
and we
us,
can
yeah.
use them as a model so we can.
So and I'll speak to Lila as well and see where DOT is going with this. If it's something that they're willing to look at, is it something that they're gonna, because most of the time, we recommend, or we suggest or recommend, and they put it in the back burner, which is unfortunate, but we can have a conversation with them present, so we're all on the same page, and if it's something that committee, also will propose and pass a resolution in the committee, the board, that's another level, then they have to vote based on their.
So is it like,
Yes.
if deaths happen, then that's when it's like, that's when they get implemented?
Unfortunately, for example, recently, they approved and they implemented during the summer, school safety right here on 169th. And it took a little girl
Dying,
almost,
or almost dying?
yeah, for them to say, hey, we're
I mean, I
gonna,
don't
no, it's.
I don't like kids dying, but some people.
We're gonna push this out there and we're gonna fix this or implement a solution to,
But they've been
Okay,
hit,
the
they've been
superintendent's on his
implemented.
way up,
okay.
so we should get
Yeah.
going. and wrap this up.
So we're gonna add, we're gonna have to break down and finish this because we shouldn't be talking about this only through email. We have to talk about it in person. So hopefully that doesn't take too much time so that we can break down and have another 30 minutes. So let's finish the cap, well,
We're done, that was the
We're
last
done.
one.
add the 64 or 65 would be a study on 207th Street. I think that it's.
Oh, the 207 study.
It's a mess. I reached out to them asking for certain things and they're kind of just saying, you know, we're gonna figure it out, but I've seen accidents happen. It's madness. around
It
this
should be
thing.
from the bridge to Broadway.
To Broadway, yeah, honestly, I agree with you, yes. So we'll add that as well on it. And then if you want, we can discuss expense and wait till the new graduates real quick. or-
It's
But
not,
the
it's not,
superintendent's
it's not
already on his
difficult.
way up, so I guess maybe they want us to go.
Ranking these.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna break back out before we,
Come back.
Okay.
after he presents and we have a partner there, we're gonna just break out for like 30 minutes. And just finalize or order it and then you'll get whatever we speak about through email with our rankings and then when we go to the executive board, I'll fill you back then.
Now we're going
It's a
back.
little crazy, but I thought he was gonna be here at
You did a
7.
good job.
I thought he was gonna be here at 7 so that we could have broken off at 8 and had an hour and a half hour discussion about this. But
Is he here?
he should be.
It's on the other, on the
He's on his
other.
way up. Yeah, sure, my notes, yeah.
He's coming back here. You'll leave mine.
I mean,
No,
maybe
no,
not
no.
at the minutes, but I share my last notes.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
I'm like, I'm always taking notes just
I
for myself,
appreciate it.
so I just share the
Oh,
document.
I
and you
emailed you
share
about this property yesterday.
Whatever you want,
Yeah,
because I take it.
But I saw your email.
I almost died yesterday on my way to.
That's what that's actually, that's wrong.
I almost died, like it was
Nice to
bad.
meet you.
Next month, we're gonna have DOT in the meeting.
I got a calendar, but you want to put it off to December, I will be there in the last. I'm not, my first calendar.
So, but you.
Well, it's nice to have you back on board.
A lot of layers.
It's nice to have you back on
Like
board.
this. And
You
you
know,
have to go layer after layer after layer after layer.
It's my
I
understanding.
live on
Takes a long time.
Street, like, when I first.
Sometimes I don't know when they did it, but obviously I feel that's
Right.
the solution.
Yeah, so then you get down. So, like, but there's certain cities around the world, like Stockholm had daylighting, I don't know, everywhere, but certainly the entire city. Yeah. Yeah.
Go up in the light now, and get out.
So I agree with you completely on pipelines, makes me crazy.
I mean, people are
And
annoyed
I
outside.
agree with you on universal daylighting. I'm very much, I really feel that we have overburdened our streets. We no longer have smooth traffic flow. We have,
It's chaos. Yesterday, yeah, it's chaos right now. And my daughter, she's 15 now. She was in Washington Heights Academy in 2013.
Oh, wow.
With Mr. Martinez there. But she likes biking around town because for teenagers, you can get around a lot better. And unlike, the Metro card, which they still only get like 4 rides a day, you can bike wherever you want, whenever you want. You have a lot of autonomy. And teenagers love it. It's the cars that are her enemy. My son doesn't like biking so much, he takes the subway, but cars are just absolutely out of control on Broadway.
Yeah.
Like the Broadway Bridge, I think it's traffic each day, something like 26,000 vehicles cross every day. The number of housing units for the Inwood expansion in Inwood was about 16,000. So like our neighborhood is a place that other people pass through who aren't connected to the community. They don't generate any economic activity in the community, and they generate a lot of danger in the community. So
park cars, I mean, the whole thing.
the double parking, like,
Yeah.
so this,
There's, and this is the problem I fight all the time, because I'm very much about pedestrian safety. And I think that we've got to get rid of some parked cars in order to make that happen.
Yes.
And in order to do the universal.
The cyclists,
daylighting.
you know why they annoy pedestrians? Because they are also afraid of the cars.
Yeah.
And so like, my daughter, she's 15, the Hudson River Greenway is taken out at 2 points that she needs. The Cherry Walk, which is 125th to 100, it's gone. And 181st to Dyckman Street that we talked about earlier is gone. So where is she supposed to ride? Like,
Safely.
yeah, I'm not willing for her to ride, like Broadway is the detour, but it's also the truck route for Upper Manhattan. That is not a place where there's no enforcement to ride, and that's, like, people who say that, people who don't wanna take away parking, it's absurd. If it were up to
I'm
me,
so sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
we would take,
But I,
like, parking, we need to have redundancy, because anything happens, like, if a road closes, that's fine, because you have a safety.
When is the best time for community input?
So.
Cause I don't want like, because I know you.
No, you can stay, you can stay. So this is, oh, if you have to go, you have to go.
No, I want people, I wanna
So
like.
what we
You
do
used to
is,
have a
every
community
community is
board.
different. So, like,
no, but I
All the
should.
time.
different communities, they have a different way of doing things, sometimes they have.
I never am chosen because I
Meetings,
actually
sometimes
don't for the
they allow you to
politics,
say,
but
I'm trying to
civil
change
servant,
the way
and
we
I
do things
definitely
in the
don't
past,
party
we would just take
politics
2 minutes
because-
at the end.
and
to allocate
that is
information
what I
and
owe
we'll
to
take
the board members.
consideration.
Okay.
I don't wanna make it more of an
My
approach
colleagues
that we let you guys ask questions and then
My colleagues
obviously we
will
can't let you guys, vote, certain things you guys can't agree. But you can still do the input, because sometimes things get lost, like we move on, and we're trying to really.
I mean-
It gets pushed.
I would love for, like,
I, in this committee at
if we
least,
made a
would like
lane
to,
along the
I
park
try
on the
to
west side,
make it more.
we made that
If you
into
have an
bike lane,
idea, say it on the floor, we'll give you the opportunity, then we can
benefit to
discuss.
Broadway.
So you
to
know
Dyckman
that
Street,
you're part of the
should
conversation.
Take the
Yes,
parking
obviously.
way on
Yeah.
that
No,
corridor,
we don't want that.
make it a
You
two
don't want to
lane
feel that, then the community
bike
board
path.
is to
And then we
advocate,
have
represent a community.
safe
And that
place
includes the people
for
living,
people to bike.
working, playing.
And also all the other cyclists who are currently annoying
So
the
the
crap out of
community
them on the
board
other
really-
streets, guess what? They're
We
also
do have
gonna go there because it's gonna be faster because
we're-
it's got
Do you
car
have a
lines.
time to send that for you or not?
I've been there,
Come in
like,
and
you can ask
pretty
Leo,
much
I have been like a
recommendations,
safety wheel advocate for a
suggestions to all
big
these
bypass and
agencies.
it's Igor Bresso. I have been emailing him
On
since the
certain
path
things
was
that we
taken out like in
want,
August,
need, expect.
like pretty much every month. And now
Thank you,
they,
Donna.
and now the Cherry Walk is also taken out, so I have added on community members for CD9.
We
Okay.
can pass a resolution in the committee and it goes to the board, and after
You know, that-
tell them.
Jim, you didn't get no food, Jim?
If,
all people won't even.
That would
do
actually-
it.
I don't like the veggie and the only other thing
Yeah,
was
no, I
tuna.
don't-
Tuna is
And
not.
people like.
I'll go look.
You buy, then you can buy, but guess what?
You can bring outside, we wanna show.
Don't see it like,
It's
they actually have
best to
some, like, if
have
it's my leg.
That's fine.
from our area because it gives us.
Jump, get them like I used to. And the bike is something that I can do, and mobility on a bike is something that stays long after your great disability. I feel it's scary. So it's always scary because we allow people to park for free on the street.
I'm gonna give you my email, I know, we'll talk about that, let me start this.
No, it is,
There's a lot
but I'd
more
love
that
to
goes
see a
into it.
board resolution that says like,
But it's
we are
tough.
going to have, we need a bike
I actually
lane.
want, I have like.
Now,
I've drawn up
I talked to
something.
Chris Heitman is the one that had parking.
Should they run out?
Permit
Why?
for.
I would love to have,
We just need to move over
paid
car parking and then just.
permit
make
parking,
it-
because it's not
Yeah,
made,
most
it doesn't
of
do
it
what
becomes
they need to do.
pandemic.
And
They don't really use
the
it.
cost of current parking absolutely must be marketed.
After
Yeah,
pandemic,
yeah,
one
yeah.
of the
So,
bigger
what
initiatives
most
of the
people
city
just
is
say,
to
like,
make it, you know.
They're thinking that,
Yeah, I
hey,
think
there's
that's-
any more space for me,
Look at the
that's not
map.
the
But it's,
way.
yeah,
The only
but if
way
you look at
it
the
would
last 4
work
years, they have
is
actually done.
Paid market
Compared to how it was in the past, and they're rolling it out, the thing is.
that parking lane.
But you have to, you have to move quickly because if it doesn't.
Transportation
people are like, yeah, one day-
It could be
for
bike
example,
lane.
one
Yeah,
day-
like,
I don't
whatever.
think always somebody who had been supposed to be doing anyway.
And
So New York is politics, you gotta walk everybody through.
But you can't.
Barrier.
They moved the parking, right?
Yes.
It's very clear.
They can't.
But it moved from once you feel like-
On the side, yeah, on the southern side, on the southern end, like, Circus Tech Drive, like,
You have to go, okay.
a lot of it, like, if we took
Broadway park-
those
is like.
Like Riverside Drive kind of lends itself to having like not only a bike lane, but we have like everything between bicycle and like mega scooter motorcycle. There's a category of vehicle that's not a motorcycle, but it's.
Everybody's got certain rides.
And those people have to.
Money's going around Broadway, that's like.
Like one lane, no people, but they stayed out.
So for example.
I mean, but I
No, but I give you the business, and for example, for us as a business.
Well,
You come
yes,
to
but
these small
in
mom
this
and pop
neighborhood, only one in six
stores.
people actually use their car to get to work.
Drives,
So
but as soon as you take away
when
parking,
you are giving
business
voice
owners
and
come
all
out
the
and
people
go forth and say, it's killing our business.
are generally the wealthy people. And I know that there are ten people who will jump down your throat and say, oh, no, I'm not parking, I need my subsidized parking.
Right, and it actually increases business and stuff.
I mean, I think it's something.
And for example, you see, you see one eighty first.
Safety for the pedestrians.
One eighty first from Broadway to Audubon, we saw a commercial,
Jody.
Jody.
it's very popular,
And I,
because they have
Only
that,
been here
that
for
bus
a year.
only.
And which part of the neighborhood do you
Certain
live in?
amount of time, the community,
Shauna Brea.
houses have had to close.
literally.
And it's been a thing with it, and we don't wanna do this anymore, it doesn't benefit us, how can we keep on?
I've talked to him about, I've also called Sean Ray because
The best,
he covers
Well, we
the
have-
part of the Cherry Walk.
we have that recommendation.
And so I've also reached out to his office and trying to get all of our,
And it goes to.
council members on board, like, we need to have a safe.
We reach out to.
When
DOT,
maintenance happens on the bike route, and it shouldn't matter that the bike route happened to be on Parks land, or it's on DOT land, or NTA land, it shouldn't matter. The onus
It's
is
a lot
on
more
DOT to
complicated than that.
provide safe bike paths.
No one's arguing that.
No, I agree with you, I agree with you.
And right now, there's
Probably all good
loopholes
idea.
in the law, like if
Not
construction
gonna
happens in a part of the
So you
bike
get
lane on
numbers.
DOT managed lane,
But how can you
the
get
contractor is obliged to provide a safe detour. The same rules does not apply if the maintenance is being done by parkland, and that is why we're in the.
1998, I went to a.
Board pass a resolution, say, no, we think. this
So we can start, so we can be out of here hopefully in the next 30 or 40 minutes.
No, I mean, I'm running into a lot of.
Close it in 10 minutes, we can finish this.
Yeah, we should.
No.
Well, we have to finish it, yeah, we have to finish it, vote, and then I'm gonna type it all up again and send it to you guys, just send it to you guys. Hopefully Carmen takes,
Sorry.
Carmen, let me ask you a question, Carmen.
So
Did you take decent amount of notes on this, on changes and stuff like that, even if it was a couple
Here, I
words,
did this,
we can work together.
keep language, keep rewords.
Okay, that's right,
whatever.
that's right.
So you have this, I shared this,
Okay,
this document with you,
perfect.
so you'll see
And
it.
just so that when I send it to the committee, rewording certain things that we, we're voting on it today though.
I think I've
Before
already
we-
enough notes that you'll,
Okay.
you know.
And we're waiting on Mary, correct?
She's very.
Bruce, I feel bad, Bruce texted earlier, I forgot that this is a whole complete different Zoom from our usual Zoom. So we actually have no attendees watching us. And Bruce was trying to get in contact with us so he can jump in, but he got stuck on the other side.
Can he get,
I was gonna call him, but he's not available after 8:30, so.
uh,
I would just, reach out to him tomorrow and kind of go down what we discussed. And whatnot.
Said it once.
Who's listening to?
He was listening to youth and it's like, I don't wanna be here. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Bruce. I wasn't paying attention to my phone when we were here discussing this.
More people to use.
Your fault.
It is my fault, Jim. It's always my fault.
we were supposed to ask for the joint meeting with live streaming.
It was. Oh, no. Oh, so it wasn't live streaming because they have the new, they upgraded the Zoom stuff, so it actually didn't live.
New
stream
system.
On the other. This is live streaming. So we-
Why? So none of that live stream?
And Noemi tried, Domingo tried, I tried, and we weren't able to do it, so.
Okay.
Again, I would confirm with Domingo actually. When we left, he might have done something differently than we did.
Okay.
When we were there, no, that's right. All right, we're gonna wait on Mary. Mary should be here. Oh, Mary's here. I'm sorry, Mary, I didn't see it. All right, so continuation of the expense, we went over the capital. We agreed, should we vote on the capital and then do the expense? You guys rather do it like that?
Let's
So we're
go.
not jumping
Let's do it
back
like
and forth?
So the way we vote is you come up with numbers for all the things and then you have to come up with.
And then we put them,
But we need some paper.
we do need some paper.
What do we do? Explain.
You're gonna rank, you're gonna do your own personal ranking of these things.
Okay, got it.
What do you need?
And then
You were from the copier like everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
But I think what we're gonna do, cause Carmen, you're gonna actually read some of your notes. And then I'm gonna take notes and write down what everybody, prioritizes.
Alright, I could write it down, whatever we.
I think I have my.
And like a miracle paper,
I appreciate you.
pull from the copier, right? Like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Like those four. That's what it's there for.
Rick, I said, all
Holding these copies.
Thank you.
right. Jody. Mary.
What we doing?
To prioritize, we're gonna number it here.
But just remember, we're,
We're gonna go over the changes so that we're all on the same page before we go.
So we have to write down all these things?
No, if you want, we're gonna write it by number. So we'll say number 56 and then you'll prioritize it. Just keep in mind that we added.
We
other
added
number
two.
to discuss, the studies for 207th Street from Broadway to the bridge. That's number 65, I believe.
No, we added number 64 for the reconstruction of Harlem River Drive and
I
Hudson
wouldn't go by
Greenway.
these numbers.
No, so we're gonna read it
I
out
wouldn't go
here.
by these numbers,
Okay.
63,
like that.
64, because these
56.
64 is somebody else's.
Yeah.
and remember
Right.
57, 58 are being defined,
And
so
then,
that's.
well, you do what you
Gets
want,
it.
I do what I want.
But it's just for our clarification, we're gonna add them towards the, I know we can't add them because they're. Right, to do that, but that's for
But
while we're
that's the
here.
reconstruction of the surface before we do lighting.
Right, and then 65 would be for the study on 207 from the bridge to Broadway.
Can I add you to this and then you can share your screen? Yeah,
What do you want to share?
just so that we can see it. There you go. I might be able to help. Everyone on this, or maybe not.
No, because it says like our word in term, I mean, sure, if you want, whatever, I don't really care, but I don't. It's not
Jim,
clear.
in terms of Jim, and Jim, she's taking some notes on a few of these, items.
Mm-hmm.
If we share on the screen,
That's live stream, I feel like that would be. it's
can
not
we
even-
show it? It's board business technically.
We can
What
show
does
it, but
34 say, exactly, 64 say exactly, so it's reconstruction of the surfaces of that whole greenway.
Of the Greenway,
Mhm.
between Harlem, River Drive and, the
So
Hudson.
we go from 56 to 65, right? No, 15 that don't work. It's out of work.
So let's do this. So we're gonna be on the same page. Carmen is gonna read
All
the
right.
changes we have for each. Just take note. She's gonna mention the number, write the number down, take note.
And I-
Remember, we've added a point or two, so it's not gonna match this necessarily. Cause we removed one and added 2 points, 2 items. So Carmen will read it and then just keep it in mind, you can write a keyword and then vote on it. That's all we're gonna do.
What you worked on.
And I'm going to-
What number?
Yes, I will be reading it by the number that was assigned on the left-hand side from the committee, like just the regular number, not the rankings.
Right.
Okay,
Okay, so can I see on
Yeah.
here too?
56.
Number 56, we are going to keep it. And we are rewording to remove, the 207 stop. The one, yes.
for
The
the
A.
A train, yeah, for the,
IND.
So removing the 207 A train stop, removing 181st Street, the A train stop. And removing 191st, then everything else stays the same.
181st is never there, so.
yeah.
Okay,
It was on
it was
the-
already
it
there
was
from
on-
before,
yeah.
but removing 191st,
Right.
okay,
Okay,
and that was it. Everyone got that?
Mhm.
Mhm.
that one's fully accessible now?
Yeah, that's for the ADA upgrade.
Yeah, okay.
I'm moving forward to number 57. So for that one, we're going to keep it as is, and we're going to reword it. We don't have the exact language for that because what we're going to do is that we will be combining 57 and 58. And we're gonna reword it per the resolution that was passed. We don't have the resolution in front of us right now, but that will be the language that's reflected on
And
there.
that's for West 158th and West 154th Riverside Drive, so. Carmen
Correct.
said we're gonna add the wording of the resolution to reflect the overall, ask that we had.
So it'll be one item.
It would be one item and it would also include language on just more the traffic flow and getting more specific, including vehicular, pedestrian, non-car centric traffic flow
For the sake
and
of,
all of that.
for the sake of this voting, are we calling it 57 and 58, even though it's,
We should call it 57.
Yeah, combine them for now, yeah. Just to not confuse anyone.
Did everyone get that?
Yep.
Now,
They're the same line, basically.
They're,
yes,
they're gonna be put online, so it would eventually be number 57 for us, or whatever number. Cause remember, other people are changing their expense and the capital budgets as well, so it might not be 57 overall
Right.
later on in the,
oh, just for this vote?
that's it for us.
number 59, we are removing that completely,
Yes.
so there will be no 59.
Or there'll be no 58 either, right?
Yeah,
And no
58 will be
58,
57,
Yeah, so no 58, no 59.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you for that, Jody. Number 60, we are going to keep, and we will update the wording. We're going to keep rehabilitation as is a technical term in construction. And that's it. Well, we may not actually reword this. We were just considering adding specifics for Mary's suggestion, but I think we concluded that rehabilitation includes all that language. So
Yes.
we would keep it as that. So it's actually going to stay the same.
Right.
And that's number 60. Moving to 61. We're going to keep as is. We considered maybe changing A or one train as opposed to IND or IRT. I don't know if anyone feels very strongly about it, but in essence, it will stay the same. So you can vote on it.
That's the one we both understand what we're.
That's the one train,
Yeah, I think, or maybe we could just add in parentheses.
Yeah.
one train, yeah.
Yeah, so just, we'll add in parentheses what the train line is.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you, the newer people on the board will not know what the IRT.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Okay.
Okay, so moving forward now to number 62. Fund new lightings and parks and along the greenway. This was the extensive conversation that we had. We actually didn't decide if we were gonna keep this. So this was the one that we started discussing, the reconstruction of
So the fund,
HRD.
so we're
in
gonna,
a long-
we're gonna
so-
focus reconstruction of the room. So we're gonna remove funding light and we're gonna focus on all
Construction,
aspects of
the
it.
website and the highway up
So
here.
that would be what would essentially, we would have added as number 64.
Yeah, so instead of having funding for the light on the greenway, we're gonna just change it completely and say we're asking for the full reconstruction.
So that's number 64.
That would be number 64. So why don't we just edit it? So not make it confusing, we'll just edit. So 62 will be the funding reconstruction of the Harlem River Drive and Hudson Greenway in Community District 12.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That would be number 62, and that's what we're voting on. That would
I know
no
we're
longer
driving
be
that,
64, yeah. Okay,
And that automatically includes lighting, right?
Yes.
Lighting that,
and let's make sure we meant that.
that's your upgrade, includes all of that, but that reconstruction is full phase versus we're just gonna make certain upgrades.
Okay, so that was 62.
Okay.
And then 63, we are going to keep as is, does the sustainability and upgrades to 157th Street,
Mhm.
the one train. And then we would add 64, but not really 64, because I know we're not going into the other one,
But
but a new one,
You could,
essentially.
yeah, you could,
Internally, we're gonna call it
64, yeah.
64 to not confuse.
Purposes for us. That would be the study on 207th Street from Bridge to Broadway,
Yeah.
because now we've already removed that.
Yeah, that's what.
And that is it. Does anyone have any questions?
Yes, could you repeat the ones we're eliminating?
We are eliminating. One
We're
second.
combining 57 and 58.
Correct.
Correct.
And we are removing 59
Okay.
completely. And we are not necessarily removing 62. We're going to reword that. So yeah, I guess it would be removed, or it would just,
We're gonna edit it,
agreement.
yeah,
That's
we're gonna
about
edit it,
it.
instead of the lighting upgrades, we're
You
gonna
would
do
edit.
full reconstruction, that covers everything.
What happened?
There's a lot of potholes,
No, we don't have to.
65 is going to be the 207, but because we're not doing 64 separately, we're just gonna include that in 62. Now we're just ending at 64.
Right, good.
Okay, but
So we should have a 56, 57, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64.
Yes.
And that's how we're gonna rank them.
Yep,
I'm still going back and forth a lot and I'm still not straight.
Let me show you my,
No. 65, what is 65?
We're not doing
we don't have.
65 because we're combined, remember, the 65 was the 207 in Broadway, but we make that 64 because the previous 64, we're combining it with 62.
So 62 and 64 are
It
combined?
wouldn't really be a 64, it would just be 62. We're rewording
So there's no
it.
64.
Well, the 64 is the new one, is the study, we only have one new one essentially, Mary.
Is it possible for you to print out whatever you have there, because I can't.
Leo's list
can
is
make
the
a copy.
best. Here, we'll make her a copy of this.
here it is, that's my rank.
So look,
Okay, perfect.
you can take a look at it,
Perfect.
like this.
I'm gonna write it down on my paper. Actually, how do you make
I
one,
don't know how to
two, three,
make
four?
the copy, but we gonna.
I'll figure it out.
You
We'll make
want me to call?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got it?
I don't know how to.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't have the login.
Let me call Paola.
Or I can take a picture of it.
I'm in the slide. Yeah, I'm in the slide. I wonder-
In the air, I can't do it.
This one? See up down?
Yeah. Always complaining that they're not people from more high.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm supporting my.
I can take a picture of it. I can do that.
I think I have to just hand a copy to everyone. I have to collect the rankings and.
Did you do it? I was trying to call Paola to see how we could do it, but
CB12.
Yeah, but 125 was nothing.
she didn't answer.
I'm saying, we check.
And also, there has been money committed on the one, like 125, 106. Which of course is like.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna read it out loud and.
That's not gonna help me, I'm visual.
I have
You want-
this. Here, we're gonna share it out. Would it be helpful, Mary, if we share it on the screen? I'll just type it up really quickly. Yeah,
It's yours? Yours? Yeah.
here, let me, let's just put a document here. Let me just open a port and I'll type it.
Take a picture and screenshot.
Huh? That's what I thought I was gonna do.
Yeah.
What do you wanna do? Oh, yeah, let me do this.
Anybody remote, that's I appreciate too.
We can see it on here. I'll type it really quickly. So 56. Okay, I'm gonna be.
It could be 7. Voting on 7. For the capital. Sorry.
Right.
That's so bad yesterday.
I have Jody's and I have Robin's.
We're gonna get it back for the expense?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys a new.
Diamond, can I see this piece? I'm gonna type it on the
Yeah.
screen for Mary really quickly.
It's like 7:50.
We're gonna keep 59.
ADA,
This is 57.
ADA
I
coverage.
didn't see it till I was. I swear. The first part, I was like, I didn't.
Okay, and then we're gonna have 57. 57, step 58.
Just put 57.
Yeah, 57, West 158 and West 165th Street.
Traffic study.
And then.
Yeah, you can put 59 in the invitation on West 168.
59
This is the A train.
of West
A train.
Mira,
I'm sorry.
168.
I'm
And
sending
you
you.
have the 168th Street Station
You put the A on there. It's just- okay.
and 60 is
Invitation of 207th Street, 1 train.
207th Street, 1 train. And then 61,
Is construction of Hollywood Drive.
reconstruction of HRD and Hudson Greenway, including lighting. All right,
62 is sustainability upgrades to 157th Street. One West 157th Street, 1 train station. And And then 64 is the study,
Or 63, that's what I'm
63, yes.
studying. Toolson Street,
From Broward.
Bridge to Broadway.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Carmen.
You're welcome.
So Mary, this is it. This should be it.
Mary, let me make it bigger for her.
Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna actually email this to myself and just base it on that. I'm assuming.
Mary,
know what?
can you see her?
I'm gonna actually hand everybody back their paper. Let's vote on this, so it just makes it easier for me when I'm inputting it. Robin and Jim, you all have those right here.
Okay, so how do you want me to
Upside down.
vote? I don't know how y'all do this, I'm sorry.
Just prioritize.
Okay.
The 7
So
prioritize.
you want me to write down a piece of paper and give it to you?
Yeah,
Or you
yeah.
want me to tell you right now?
Writing on a piece.
Okay.
It just makes it easier for me to,
Got it. All right.
or we can also just, write
Yeah,
on a
I
piece of
could.
paper.
All right.
So you're gonna have to have a square thing, you can have everybody.
Yeah, everybody's name. I mean, I can do that as
You
well.
want it?
You guys wanna do that?
You can do it on paper, or you can go in and spread it, but.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like this room. I can't hear
It's so
people, I
small.
can't see that.
Sorry.
Maybe I should.
Should I make it larger? Or can you see it there? Do you want me to make it larger?
See through the people.
Oh.
It's
Sorry, Karen.
Everyone cut off your body.
Jim,
No? Notice I didn't say I'm cutting off my body.
Okay, for me.
Thanks about it. Robin. Just so I can input it. I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't mind saying that. Mm.
James.
Mary.
And Leah.
Yeah, I got.
Jody.
Jody,
Got Jody. All right, Robin. What are you order?
56, number 1,
Go on.
62, number 2,
Skip to number 2,
63, number 3,
3 number 3,
and 60,
4,
number 5,
60 number 5.
yeah.
Okay, 60 number 5. You got it. Oh,
Uh,
you born on your list.
yeah. And number 61 is 7, and 64 is 6.
60.
Will we have 64?
No,
No, yeah, we
Vamos a
have,
tocar la lista, pero no vuelvan locos.
Oh, so now
You
you gotta
got,
read
that's
that
number 1.
yeah,
You got 57. What do you rank on the traffic study?
57.
There's that one. That's the name.
Oh, yeah, that's, number 4.
So
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
That's it.
59, the rehabilitation of the West,
So we say,
That's 60.
yeah, 60, number 5.
number 5 is 60, okay.
61, 7,
7.
62, 2, 63, 3.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm missing one. Oh, 59 is 6. I got it.
Who's
He
on?
put 6 this.
That's it.
Okay,
Okay.
I got you, Robin. Jody? There's down here. 6 is 1, 2, 5, 6, 3.
Less than all, they basically lived on a.
You
Well-
prefer whoever else is, or you put, yeah, just.
Thank you.
Do I keep it?
Cause there's.
You're gonna have to write the other
Just
list.
put Carmen in there.
Is anyone else done? Jimmy, you wanna give yours? Cause I'm still bringing this one.
You want it here?
Leo has his.
You could hear it
Go to mine real quick, let me just,
to give us time. 6,
One thing is. Somebody
I'll go for me.
got
And then Carmen.
energetic.
Jim's done, so you may wanna pick Jim.
What's yours, Jim?
Starting at the top,
You have to get rid of that.
1, 3,
3,
7,
7,
4,
4,
5,
5,
2,
2,
6.
6. Perfect. James, you still working on yours?
Yes, I am. In 1 minute, please.
Take your time.
US House Representative.
61, sorry, I'm like, dyslexic. I'm like,
Go on.
these numbers, I'm like, 56 is 1, these are short. 57 is 2.
61 is.
Mary is ready if you wanna hear her.
Put it in your glove. 61 is 3 for you.
57, yeah, 61 is 3. 62, which one 62,
Of course, to 157th Street, 1 train station.
yeah, 62 is
Four. Okay,
and what I'm missing.
you're missing, 59, 60, and 63.
What is that?
59 is next, whatever the number is.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Study is after that, the 63 is after that.
61, 67.
Unless you
Yeah.
have more.
Perfect. All right, so now I'm just missing James and Mary.
All right, I can go.
All right, James, what's your order?
56, I have number 3.
Okay,
57 is number 4.
okay,
60 is 5.
5,
61 is 7.
7,
I'm sorry, 60 was 6. I made a mistake. Sorry.
okay, no worries.
60 was 6, 61 is 7,
6,
62 is 5,
5,
63 is 1,
1.
64 is 2.
There's 64.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, James, but we're going on this list. This is like the updated.
Oh,
I apologize.
Scratch all of that.
okay.
I apologize.
Well, the,
Yeah, I'm gonna use the bathroom in the meantime.
Tim,
yeah, it's number 62 is number 1.
Okay, 62 is number 1. Perfect. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
After 9 o'clock, there's nobody bringing this in for me. Yeah.
62 is number 2.
62 is number 2. So 62 is number 2. 61 is number 1?
Yes.
Okay. 1, 2.
63 is number 3.
63 is number 3. Okay,
What am I missing now?
56,
56 is number 5,
5, 59,
is, number 6.
6, and then 60 is the last one.
Yeah.
That's number 7? Okay, perfect, I got you. Mary, are you ready? Okay, go ahead.
56 is 1,
1,
57 is 2,
2,
59 is 3,
3,
60 is 6,
66,
61 is 4,
4,
62, 5,
5.
and 63, 7.
Okay, all right, I have everything. I have everything. Right now, our priority seems to be the ADA upgrades. So
Huh?
basic math, right now, our 56 is our number 1 priority as a committee for the capital side. Okay, now that we have that, let's switch over to the expense side. And we'll go over it briefly. We'll have conversations. We want to add anything or remove. And we'll go from there. Should we wait on Carmen? She stepped out to the bathroom.
Hopefully. she'll-
Maybe we can talk and just start to get some
Okay,
comments and then.
all right, so I'm gonna start reading them off. So number 30, this is for the expense. So the first one we have on our commission, the first one we ranked previously, is proposed modify and increase funding for subway stations as it relates to maintenance, repairs and cleaning.
Yes.
All right. The next one, funds traffic study for West 165th Street between Fort Washington, to 170th Street for Washington. That's the next one, fund the traffic study for 165th Street.
Yeah, remember, that's
It's a-
huge. It's a big.
Yeah, it's a big
They
issue,
can
especially when you're
talk
coming
to us
off. the-
about it. That whole area around Columbia University is just a
Mhm.
nightmare.
Mhm. Next
With
one,
The improvements we're making to 165th and Riverside Drive because of your left-hand turn.
yeah, left-hand turn idea.
It will really be nice if we could get that.
If we could add it.
More of a mess now because they're doing that construction, getting ready for the cancer center.
Yeah, yes.
Saying,
So, yeah.
No more progress.
I mean, the only good thing is the couple of, traffic officers.
Mhm.
One, yeah.
That's a very good.
One on
thing.
168.
That intersection is-
Well, there's 3 actually, one on 168, there's one by the entrance to Millstein. And then there's one on 165.
Which is
So
going
it's
to
not
starting to go.
It helps a little bit, except when they're on the corner on their phone.
Mhm. That's why I don't take the bus anymore, because it always gets.
He's just
caught
going
up
through,
there.
increase.
It does, and it takes a long time to do that.
You know,
All right, so the next one, front traffic study for 207th Street and University Heights Bridge, no side of the Capitol. We can strike it, maybe.
I think the.
What do you think?
The next one is front traffic study for West 207th Street from University at the University Heights Bridge, which is that bridge.
Isn't that what we just added to
Yeah,
this?
so maybe it's,
Can we keep it on both? What's the, I don't know how the,
Well, that sort of wastes the number.
yeah,
okay.
So,
So
and what was the criterion for the difference in capital and expense?
I think one is 250 and the other one
I
is
would
what?
think the traffic study is small enough that it would be expense.
that makes sense.
So then maybe it should be removed from the capital
Right.
and then just leave it on here, you're saying?
Right, or we could, the other thing, just to give our chair more work to do, you could check with Lyle, does he think this should be capital, or does he think it should be
The
expense?
expense.
And then we'll get rid of one or the other.
So should we leave this for now? Vote on this separate expense and then ask Lyle what he
Right,
recommends?
leave it for now, sort of with an asterisk, and we'll put an asterisk on the other one also, and then let Lyle.
Just put the other one on the left.
Did we expand it on this one? This one says, traffic, I don't know this area, so what you guys do.
So that one is,
Which
just-
one, Joe?
that one just highlights 207 in the bridge, so just that direct.
And this is
intersection.
broader.
This goes the extent of.
Yeah, so this is the one we want.
What do you have, Jody?
Sorry?
Increase, I'm just trying to type it on the screen for Mary.
From the bridge to Broadway,
Got it.
just like we had on the.
This is how we're gonna vote on it.
Increase funding for subway station as it is released, related.
No, we did that up to.
Oh, no, she's typing it.
6 is
Oh.
one traffic study, 165 in Fort Washington, to 170 in Fort Washington,
160.
in Fort Washington.
March to
Nice.
170 and
This is last year's month.
37.
And then we're thinking about, what did we decide? Put it in for now?
Yes. For
So, fun
207.
traffic study
For 207.
in this person type temperature.
I think it's from Bridge to Broadway now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna edit it to.
It has this extra camera button.
And again, this one has an asterisk as well as the one previously. I'm gonna ask Lyle, where is it more effective?
And then
Yeah.
one
Like,
is
expense to
38.
capital, we'll go from there, like Jim.
And then we want real-time passenger information.
That's the only difference.
That's the only,
Don't
yeah,
really
that's the
The
only
only
one.
difference is capital.
Yeah, expense.
Can somebody, I'm
So-
sorry, can somebody
Yeah.
clarify for me what the
So number 38,
38?
we discussed previously, you have people who wait for the buses and because of increase in crime. Some people don't know when the bus is coming, so we want baseline signage that says, hey, the bus will be here.
Oh, if you go down to the rich areas, they already have it.
They have them all over the
On
place.
where the bus stop is, it tells you.
Yeah, at the top.
Yeah, yeah.
We should have those.
So we want
Yeah.
those in Washington, yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah, I
that,
like
that's
that.
my number one.
That's,
No, seriously.
Bronx, they have-
they have it,
Say
sir.
every stop.
Yeah, they have it in certain places in the Bronx as well.
about the little ticket.
What happened?
I think that-
Oh, that's amazing.
There's, they call Wayfair and stuff.
Sometimes we get crazy waiting
The
for
bus,
bus.
the bus time Wayfair is that.
And meanwhile, you
Okay,
can see,
so-
oh, it's coming.
Can we vote, y'all? I gotta vote.
Already.
Hey, Jim, we can have that conversation.
All right,
But I do.
do you want our votes already?
Before we do you think we should add anything else? Expense, I believe, is under $250,000, as you guys mentioned. Is there anything that we would want to add to our lists pertaining to a committee?
We can keep as it is. I
Anyone,
mean, that's my
anyone
opinion.
for,
Well,
Yeah, if you give
they're bringing up
suggestions.
daylighting, why don't we throw a daylighting study out?
But the late,
That's not, that daylighting is gonna be a very controversial thing, because daylighting every intersection, if you would like, you will remove hundreds of parking spaces.
That's
And
gonna,
we will have riots.
listen, I don't disagree with you guys, and we spoke about it briefly. I think that,
What about the swapping of the?
I think that that's a conversation we need to have in depth. We can't just throw that in there. The board is gonna look at it, people are gonna question it, and it's not something, I think we need to discuss.
What's been talked about, you know, yeah. and-
So this, the portion where we're now before it's expense, so we're deciding what falls within the budget that can be funded for that. This is under $250,000.
What about like the traffic places, like where I was talking about like Amsterdam, how it's like a blank slate, so it'd be like perfect for just like, putting in the lanes.
I think that it's more of a conversation we need to have with them.
What he's saying is that because we haven't discussed it in detail, we can't just add it on here.
Yeah,
Usually things that are here are things that have been discussed over time, that people are in agreement, we will have to vote on it, and it's just a lot much bigger than just throwing it on there.
Yeah, that's a,
'Cause it
that's
gets
a,
passed on to agencies, but we can still get some of that stuff done
Yeah.
via study, inviting DOT to. come
that's a
here and
deeper
discuss that.
conversation. We have to see DOT stance on it first. If DOT has their initiatives, there's certain things they do, and we can go and my committee will attest to it. We can bring it to them. They'll, okay, cool. Thank you for giving us this. We're throwing it back.
Yeah,
Something we have to discuss. Like I said, I'm not fully 100% for it at every intersection.
No,
I just don't think it's
Like,
plausible.
on my climate scientist hat here,
Mhm.
and tell you about, with respect to the flooding at 157th Street, like, it's because it's kind of a cistern, right? You go up and you go down a level, and then you have to come back up to get to the platform, right? So you have this area that has to drain, and it doesn't sound like beautiful, but making sure like the drainage things have the vacuum pump and are clear of debris, it's actually a really good thing that you can do to alleviate flooding. And in fact, like a year ago, when we had that really extreme rain at the end of September, there was some preliminary work done at Columbia that said some of the neighborhoods that had the worst flooding were those that also had the highest level of sanitation and trash on the streets complaints. So although it doesn't sound like a beautiful task, it might be an effective one, especially if it's under 250K. That's not enough to rebuild the station, but it is probably enough to get either pumps in there, to literally pump the water out during rains, or to get like the big vacuum machine to suck out whatever's in the drain.
How to get $18,000 in 24 hours, part 2. There's this loan program that
I'm
lets you get
sorry,
through
I
it.
was trying to,
Free? Is it free?
no, I was trying to see if we were live streaming, sorry, y'all, and the YouTube ad came on, sorry.
It turns out that the transit authority has, I don't know how many pumps, and there may actually be pumps there. They may need to be refurbished. And if we want them to install a pump or a series of pumps or whatever, that would definitely be a capital project.
Right.
So, and the other thing is this 158th Street station, let me just give you, turns out one of the top people in the transit authority is one of my neighbors, so I can give you all the stories. If all the pumps, in fact, that's what happens when there's a blackout, the pumps shut down and things start flooding. Because they basically just keep on running to keep things, the status quo. So because we made it a capital project and the MTA is aware of it, at some point they will do something. I would imagine they will do something before there's a collapse, and a lot of this water, although some of it may have been remediated, there were actually beams in the station that were rusting out and stuff. So they're aware of it, and ideally, when the capital money comes back, when we get some kind of congestion pricing again, then maybe they'll do something, but they're aware of it.
Well,
But again, it would not be an expense project.
after Ida, the MTA was saying that it would take them something like 15 years to clear out all the plugged up drains. So I think that, definitely ask them to rebuild the station and to fix things, but being specific that you want the drainage to work, particularly at stations where there's chronic flooding. I know every presentation I give publicly about extreme rainfall, I have videos from 157th Street Station that I have in every presentation that I give, because it is so poignant seeing like trains pulling through the station, reflection, you're not sure if the train's pulling through the water or not. But I think that it is not a very sexy ask, but it might be a very pragmatic one to just try to get, not the pumps while things are going, yes, but also like whatever drainage is in there, making sure that it's clear.
Well, again, that's something
It's two
they
different
should
kinds
be,
of pumps that we're
they
talking
should
about.
be doing as a course. And the fact that they claim that they have, they have drains that are gonna be blocked for decades is nonsense.
Yes, I agree.
Right.
So call them on it.
Well, I think, inherent in our capital project, and we can be more specific that we want the drainage, aspects worked on also.
We can do that.
Because it is this one big capital project, and again, we've had enough collapses. Remember there was a collapse on 181st Street
I think,
They don't want that to happen anymore. So I think they're slightly more proactive than they, because basically at 181st Street, they just sort of shored things up and left and figured it would be fine. Well, it wasn't.
that was 2011, and that's a significantly steeper station.
Right, but
Yeah.
that was a huge capital project, you know, everything was replaced. It's now quite safe.
What I'll do is, for number 62, prior to the capital, we'll include
Included.
language to highlight the upgrading of the pumps and the drainage system.
So which number was that?
62 on the capital.
In the capital.
Oh, we-
Oh, 2005,
Without the middle, yeah.
Here you go.
yeah.
So we're done with the expense?
62.
No, did we vote, are we voting on it?
Well,
I-
not just that, are we gonna add anything else to the expense? So add anything else to this list?
I don't know.
Right now, we have those four, those are the same four we had last year.
Well,
I think
we
those was
can-
nice.
We can carry it over, they did not, there was no traffic study at 207. They're working on the West 165th Street, I know that, there was a previous walkthrough in the summer for that area, so we can include it so that we can.
Well, we'll keep these, and the other thing is what happens more with other committees is every year there are more projects and it gets ridiculous.
Yeah, it gets.
So unless we have something, you know, that we really, you know.
I guess, Jim, we.
And then the other thing is, I believe when we have our budget priorities hearing, the budget can be amended at that point too, so the board assembled
Yeah.
there can decide to add an item also.
Okay, so we can leave it as is. Right?
Yes.
So now we rank our.
Can we vote?
So.
So
we got another
right
piece of
number.
paper.
And we're voting as is on the screen, 35, 36, 37, 38. Are you ready?
I'm sorry. Expense.
Now let's see what-
Numbers are 35. 36, 37, 38. We're gonna go by order. So I'm gonna start with Robin. Robin,
35, 2,
2, 35,
36, 3,
3, 36,
37, 4,
4.
and 38, 1.
Okay, Robin, thank you. Jody,
35-1,
1,
36-3,
3,
37-4,
4.
38-2.
Awesome. Carmen,
35, 1.
Yep.
38, 2. 36, 3.
okay.
And you know
34,
the rest.
4, whatever, 37, 4, stop.
I'm gonna do mine at the end. James,
35, 2,
okay,
36, 3,
3,
37, 1,
1,
38, 4.
4. Jim,
35-1, 36-2, 37-4, 38-3.
all right, Mary,
Bingo.
we have a winner. Mary,
1, 3, 4, 2.
1, 3, 4, 2,
That made it even easier.
and I'm gonna go 1, 3, 4, 2. That's fine. All right,
Great,
Good.
yay. Are we?
so, yeah, just,
Can I just say one thing? I think you did a great job. I think you were amazing. And just
Thank
as
you,
we move
all of
forward,
you
even though
guys.
this is our expense and capital, I do really would love to focus a little bit this year on pedestrian safety. To
Yeah.
include the e-bikes, the bike lanes, the daylight whatevers,
I
you
have
know.
some,
Can we
And what
suggest
else?
maybe
I have something to
that's
say, Leo.
the
Leo,
December
why we
meeting?
don't implement, to speak with the principal in school to have 4 cross guard instead of 2? The cross guard, I mean,
They won't pay for it.
I don't like the way it is because
exactly.
sometimes 2 cross guard, you know what they do? They start talking with
They hang out,
parents.
they hang out.
And
yeah.
the kids by themselves. The other day, 160, 170, 168, the firefighter department truck was driving and they almost hit a kid. And I would call the kid, watch out!
We can.
I don't wanna go inside. I said, watch out, kid.
Well, you know,
They were talking.
they
So they might
people-
have, no, it doesn't matter. They have money. They should have 4.
You know what
four
it is?
cars.
It's the schools. So the schools, they have a budget they're allotted and they choose a personnel and they play with the money.
Yeah, but we can talk to
You
them.
know,
and-
you know who's the best person to go with that is the superintendent.
I'm gonna talk to him. I was
Yeah,
about to say that word to him. I give my number to him. Listen, I'm scared. not for kids, I don't have no kids, but what about your kids? What about your kids? What do you want a kid with you?
They're not supposed to be talking to each other and there's supposed to be
Yes,
supervision.
they
Maybe the
teach chatting. And one time I told one cross guard, listen, if something happened to the kid, you're gonna be in jail. I'll make sure you're gonna be in jail.
But you see that, the point is, the principal or whoever has to get out of his office and go look at the guards. Someone actually has to actually supervise the guards. Supervision is very important.
Yes.
I just
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
say one
yeah.
thing.
We're gonna have more discussion.
I-
today.
only
We're gonna have
because,
more
you know, I read
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the Times,
You wanna
other
leave.
community boards in the previous years had passed resolutions about, permit parking. Okay, and I also think, I'm guessing that some of them probably have had resolutions about reducing vehicular traffic within their districts. And I just think that as the subcommittee, which I'm not on yet, we want to be like more proactive in those realms. We know they're aspirational goals.
You know what it is, and I'm sorry to cut you off, we've had discussions in the past about permit parking, actually. We wanna be proactive, so yes, we wanna advocate, we wanna throw stuff out there and kind of push for it. The reality is DOT and current administration have an initiative, and it's just falling into dead ears. So we can bring it up, we'll have a discussion, we can vote a resolution. But it's most likely not gonna go anywhere. So what we're trying to do with the limited time we have, and, you know, everybody has busy lives and we volunteer, we try to push what we know will pass on their end. They're actually gonna work on certain things. I don't mind bringing these things up. That's why the daylighting, we can have a conversation about it. If the majority committee votes for it, we'll pass the resolution. If everybody has an individual vote, it's gonna go to the board, then people have their own opinions on the board, but that's on them. But we'll advocate and push things through if we discuss and kind of come to a point. I don't wanna just,
So,
hey, we got one suggestion from somebody,
Yeah.
but then we have a whole community that's like, no, we don't wanna lose parking on this. I would rather have input from as many parties as
I
possible.
want to say one more thing that I haven't talked about, which is like, I do like New York City open data, I do that thing. And, if you have a look at, dangerous behaviors by cars, that's running red lights, that's
You
speeding.
wanna turn it off?
Like
Just
the
yet?
enforcement by NYPD fell down to almost zero during COVID.
You wanna
First
switch,
floor
Also,
before
you know
COVID,
what?
this is
but
running Windows, you wanna shut down the
it came
window.
back.
Well,
It
it's still
never came
recording
back.
because we
And
haven't adjourned yet.
this
Have we adjourned?
With their.
We've adjourned, right?
On day.
Have we or have we not?
Motion?
I wanna stop
Anybody
recording.
have
I move to
Motion to
adjourn. We've adjourned.
Meeting is done. I'm sorry, Len. Go ahead, you can.
Debbie wrote that big resolution on red camera.
It's, we only have one.
Motion to adjourn, second by who?
The city, the state only allows 150.
All right, we're gonna
Now,
stop recording.
They expand the camera program, then they'll consider us in the future, but they told me.
You did great.
They told me no.
I'm sorry.
But yes.
It's gonna be
All right,
there, so,
I didn't mean-
the